Market Day Report. I'm Marlon Bowling with you on a Thursday, another active trading session today. Kind of interesting trade, too, that's developing today. Let's dive into these futures prices on the grains and see what's going on. We have kind of a divergent trade here today. Let's look first at the corn, and we'll bring that up on the big board. And for our viewers at home here on RFD TV, we have that July corn contract still 3 1/4 higher at 3.80 3/4. The entire trading range is about 6.5 cents, not all that wide. We're right in the middle of it now. 3.80 3/4 is up 3 1/4. December 3 higher at 3.88 per bushel. Looking at the soybean trade here, after leading the charge higher earlier this week following the USDA crop production and supply and demand reports, well, we're backing off quite a bit today. We have a lot of profit taking and some fear that some of the corn acres may switch to beans with all the heavy rains. July soybeans down 12 1/4 at 10.66 right now, and November new crop down 11.5 at 10.54 per bushel. Meanwhile, on the wheat trade in Chicago, we have July now up a nickel at 4.64. And in Kansas City, we have July trading 4 3/4 higher at 4.47 per bushel. And in Minneapolis, we have that July contract 2 1/4 higher at 5.29.5. Well, let's check in with Brian Hoops. Brian Hoops is the president of Midwest Market Solutions. He's based in Springfield, Missouri. And Brian, good to have you back with us here once again. Let's take a look at this grain trade here. A little bit of divergent activity, if you will, because corn is going one direction, soybeans now going the other direction. And earlier in the week, the soybeans rocketed higher and they pulled everything else along with it. The corn is maintaining an upside swing here right now, and soybeans falling apart. Explain what's going on here, can you?
Well, we're looking at a couple different things going on in this market right now. Export numbers were not all that great for the soybean market, and we're seeing a little bit of profit taking off of those numbers. Soybeans did not make new highs yesterday, failed to make new highs either in the overnight or in the trade here this morning. So we're seeing market pull back off of that news. Margins were increased in soybean futures and soybean meal as well, and a lot of times that will shake out some of the longs who maybe have been riding this market higher. They'll turn around, exit their positions on some profit taking. So we're getting encouragement from that. Plus weather forecasts that I think are going to encourage a shift in corn acres over to soybeans. It's very wet in parts of western Iowa, the Dakotas, Nebraska, all in that area. We could see a dramatic shift from corn over to soybeans over the next several weeks, and the market's starting to anticipate that, put that into its balance sheet.
Brian, how much of this do you think, if any at all, is related to the fact that they have pursued action against the president in Brazil with the Senate there filing impeachment proceedings?
Well, it was big news, and I think, that is certainly something that's impacting the market. And, we've been hearing rumors of this for several weeks and even months going into this. So we're probably seeing a little bit of a reaction to that news announcement. The Brazilian real is down today, so that's encouraging the soybean futures to move lower as well.
All right, so that makes the Brazilian soybeans cheaper for foreign buyers, and that makes it harder for us to compete. That is exactly right. And I did want to bring up the outside markets while I'm talking with you, Brian. The crude oil market has been going opposite from the dollar today. Right now, on the crude oil, we are now down 21 cents at 46.02 per barrel. That's on the West Texas Intermediate crude for the June contract. However, on the U.S. dollar, we have been lower, and today we turned around, and now we're 290 points higher on the June, quoted at 94.080. We're talking with Brian Hoops. He's with Midwest Market Solutions in Springfield, Missouri. We'll be back talking livestock in just 1 minute. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you. And you. In fact, thanks to everybody for helping to make Coyote one of the fastest growing tractor brands in North America. To celebrate Coyote's 30th anniversary, we're offering 0% financing, plus up to $1,000 cash back on all Coyote tractor models. Or get a rebate of up to $3,500, plus a $500 cash back bonus on all CK10 models. See your dealer for details. Thanks again.
The Professional Bull Riders Last Cowboy Standing is coming to Las Vegas. Hi, everybody. This is Steve Kenyon from Rural Radio Sirius XM Channel 147's Western Sports Roundup. Listen live to the Last Cowboy Standing this weekend on Rural Radio. Friday and Saturday nights, 11 Eastern, 8 on the West Coast. And Sunday afternoon, we'll bring you the final performance of the Las Vegas El Dorado Days Rodeo. Starts at 6 in the East, 3 in the West. Join us for the best in Western sports on Rural Radio Channel 147 on Sirius XM and on the Sirius XM app.
Thanks for joining us on the Market Day Report. I'm Marlon Bowling, and we're talking right now with Brian Hoops. He's president of Midwest Market Solutions in Springfield, Missouri. They have offices in 6 states, I believe. Is that right, Brian?
That is correct. In Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa, South Dakota, North Dakota, and Minnesota.
So you're spread out all over the Western Corn Belt region there. I did want to talk about some new updated information that just came in here a moment ago from USDA. It's the new mid-morning beef cutout values. Let's go take a look at what they are, and we'll share that with our viewers at home as well. On the choice cuts this morning, it looks like today we have the choice cuts up another 18 cents. Not a big move at all. Selects gained 226 today. They're now at 205.25, so they narrowed up that spread by over $2 this morning between the choice and select. So that spread is now 864 as of this morning. So that should be supportive to the futures trade. Also had some weekly retail meat prices here that show the beef losing ground again. Last week they were down several cents, and now this week, based on 15 cuts, the average retail price, this is based on a survey done by the Wall Street Journal, it's down to $4.84 on the average price per pound, so that's helping to move some beef as well. Pork was down, clear down at $2.60 from $2.96 last week on their average price. And the chicken also went down to $177 from $2.08 last week, just the reverse of what we saw the previous week. The very same prices were flipped at that point. So even compared to a year ago, all these prices are down lower than where we were a year ago. And Brian, you and I were talking during the break, we were talking about the firmer trade in the cattle and the hog markets, and you said you're hearing some rumblings on the cash market today. What's going on?
Yeah, our office in Springfield, Nebraska is reporting some cash trade in Nebraska right now. Some of the major regionals are bidding pretty aggressively this morning. They're getting some trade bought at 210 and at 132. So right where the feedlots were asking for, and up considerably from a week ago.
Wow, so they don't even have to give any ground. That is fascinating. All right, so they were just asking, I think, 132 to 134, I believe. And the Packers, last I heard, they were bidding 127, and the feedlot manager said no, they weren't going to take that. Wow, that's a $5 jump from the earlier bids. So if that's the case, that's very noteworthy. Thanks for breaking that news here for us live. Let's take a look at the futures trade here on the live cattle market right now. As we go to the big board, we have the June contract on live cattle now gaining $1.46 at 124.28 per hundredweight. And you can tell if you're viewing at home, we are leading the charge on the nearby contracts, which is also a bullish sign. August is up 73 at 120.05 per hundredweight. Feeder cattle will switch over there. On the feeders, we have the May up 72. The August contract now $1.04 higher at 150.32 per hundredweight. And we have the September up 91 cents. On the pork carcass cutout values, we were up 92 cents on the mid-morning update from USDA. And we'll go ahead and show the primal cuts there. The loin's up 275 in value today. Meanwhile, on the futures for the lean hogs, we'll go over there and see how the trade is doing. Right now on the May contract, we're at 14. The most active June is 26 higher at 83.08, so they're still maintaining that 83 threshold and staying above it. Brian, thanks so much for the help. I appreciate it. Brian Hoops with Midwest Market Solutions in Springfield, Missouri. You can look him up and give him a call. He'll be glad to help you out.
As you said, breaking news, cash cattle trade getting started.
Yeah, Brian with some excellent news. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Marlon. Well,